Hi everyone, thank you for joining me again. I'm excited to be in your space and I don't take it for granted. Thank you, I really appreciate. This is The Widow's Might. It's a graceful journey. My name is Rita Ugbebo. I'm here to share snippets of my life's journey as a widow in the last 12 years. And I say to those who are joining for the first time that I'm looking out for those who had to restart their lives for various reasons. So restarting one's life usually is triggered by a negative event, sometimes a very painful event like a loss of a spouse, a marriage, separation, a child, loss of a child, or a career, or family, or even sudden relocation. That's what we've had lately. People relocate and suddenly there's so many things that they can't handle. So this channel is going to give us some snippets, some tips about how you can get help. I, Rita, have always gotten help through divine means, which is for me God. I'm a strong Christian. I'm born again. I'm not shy to say that I've had a rebirth in my life and I focus on God for help, and He has not failed me for one day. The Bible says He's the husband to the widow and the father of the fatherless. You may not have been bereaved, but you have suffered something that made you to restart. So you go to the helper. That's what I will give. So open your mind. If this video doesn't resonate with you, it could be helpful to another person you know who may be going through that season in their lives. So you're welcome. Today, I would like us to talk about being intentional about the information you pass to the people that you are supposed to be in charge with. For instance, for my case, it's my children. I had 3 of them between the ages of 8 and 13 when this happened about 12 years ago. So the way I informed them about things mattered. I'm saying these things today because at that time it didn't look like it was important, but even though I did some part of it, but today I now realize, yes, it was good that you told them these things the way it happened, so that we all are on one page and everybody understands that we're growing as a new kind of family. We were married before, we had children, so something happened. It's now a single parent family lifestyle. So I'll just take us back a little bit. When it happened, my children were on holiday on a 1-week midterm break, and they came in and saw their dad sick, but he was not hospitalized at that time. He was hospitalized like 2 days before they went back to school. And he told me he didn't want, I told him, can I bring them to see you in the hospital before they go back? He said no, he didn't want them to see him that state. I said, but they need to go back. He didn't say anything. So I said, okay. So the journey was funny. We started in one hospital, eventually we were referred, and eventually he passed in the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital on October 23rd, about 11:25 a.m. 2012. So it has happened. Before it happened, that season when he was in hospital from Sunday morning till Tuesday morning, I had to go back home on Monday afternoon to check on my children because they were home with the helper. I got home and my son told me, Mommy, I had a dream. Daddy's not coming back. I was like, no, your daddy's coming back. He said, no. The Holy Spirit told him, my dad is not coming back. I said, your dad is coming back. Unfortunately, I was wrong. His daddy didn't come back. But, so when it happened, that day happened at call. My pastor was there. So we had reached home. They were all playing, they didn't know what has happened. I went to school to pick the little one while the other 2 were at home. And the children's department representatives were in my living room. They came in and they called them and informed them what has happened. Now, my 8-year-old, they cried that initial time. And before he said Jack, my 8-year-old was sleeping on my lap. She slept off. And the other 2 went out to play with the other children that came with their parents from church. And after everybody left, was when our journey started. My son came to me. He said, Mommy, what's going to happen? I said, don't worry, that's all. We're going to wait for the burial. I talked to my children intentionally. I told them every step. And if there were things I didn't need them to hear, I would let them leave excuses. So that has been how that journey started. And I'm pointing this out because as a widow with children or a widower, the most likely people that you will be close to are your children, no matter, irrespective of their age or ages. So once that happened, burial was on. Even at the cemetery, I was pointing things to them. That's your dad's casket. It's been moved to the graveside. That's your dad's last journey. After that, we went back home, got them ready for school. They were in 2 different schools. I said, you know what? Let's take one day at a time. Yazel, you go to your school. Jasmine, you go to your school. The other one stays with me. My brother helped me to move them to school. And as that was midterm, remember, so they came back to came back for Christmas holiday after that first season. Their dad died the half of the term. And when they returned, there was a decision I made that I didn't tell them. When they were away, I moved from our 5-bedroom apartment to my parents' house, and they gave us the penthouses, a self-contained penthouse. And so when the day went to pick them from school, they didn't know. The ones in boarding house, they didn't know. So when we passed the way to our house before, my son was like, "Mommy, are we not going home?" I said, "Oh, no, we moved to Big Daddy's house." He said, "What?" That's one of the rudest shock my son ever had at 13. He said, "What? Why? Can't we go back to our own house? And how are we going to stay? Where are we going to stay?" I said, "Well, there were decisions that I had to take. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. And it's for the benefit, for the best of us. I will give you the full picture when we get home." And now he was angry. One is, "I've lost my dad. Now you're taking me." He had his own room. He had everything to himself there. "Now you're taking me to a small space." My brother and his children were already there with my parents. It was a big house. It was a 10-bedroom apartment. It was beautiful, but that's not our space. You didn't carry us along. So I had my first lesson. When he said that, the way he reacted. But the thing is, while we're still going home, there was a news I had not told them. Okay, so my little girl knew we're going to holiday in UK, and these other 2 from boarding house didn't know. So we had picked the girl from school first. The girl was in Ibadan, and my little girl had told her elder sister, "We're going to UK, London." And they were like, "Ooh, that changed." So when my son was picked inside Lake, my son's school is in opposite it's in Mowe. And so once he was picked, the first thing that came up, they didn't tell him at that time, but the moment I told him about the house, we moved, my daughter somehow just said, when he was sulking, feeling bad, my daughter told him, "We're going to London tomorrow." He was like, "Oh my God, Mommy, are we going to London?" I was like, "Yes, we're going to." So that calmed him down. Now, I'm saying this here because I learned we need to be sensitive to the people around us, especially our children, no matter how young they are. It's important that we're sensitive to how they feel, how they take the scenarios, how they absorb the things that have happened. Yeah, they know they lost their dad, but how are they absorbing it? Another scenario I'll paint now is, we stayed in my parents' house. They were younger, they were smaller, so I was packing my son's mattress, and I saw his father's obituary magazine. I'm like, the program, and I'm like, oh my God. And I looked on the pillow. He had been crying in the night. So, because you're going on thinking you're carrying on with life, you don't know that some of them may be grieving. I have just one son. And I realized that I needed to do more counseling with him and all of them. Sometimes when I have a row with my mom and we'd say something, my daughter will come to me, "Now you want to shout at our mom? They'll leave us, they'll send us out of this place and we'll be alone again." I'm like, oh my God. So I needed to be, intentional with them every stage of the way. I needed to carry them along, because what has happened will shape their understanding of life. It will also shape their understanding of what kind of family they have. One other scenario, I'll come to you again. My daughter was 8, the last one, when she passed in her school. She came home within the first 2-3 weeks of this thing happening. She told me that somebody in her class told her father has 10,600,000 naira in his account. I was like, what's that? He said, Mommy, now our daddy has died. Do we have money? Oh my God. That broke me. I went to the school and I told the head teacher, I said, I don't know what's going on here. Whose father has 10.6 million in his account that is telling his child to come to tell another child who's fatherless? And they were like, oh, they're sorry that, people talk. I said, no, my point is not to reprimand that child, is to let my own child know that jail, mommy is also working. Dad is not there, but we have God. I opened the Bible, which we read together. They will know that you're not discounted. You are not a discounted child. You may not have a dad, but you have God and you have your mom who is supporting you. Every stage on the way, I kept pushing things to them, telling them this is it. When we even had a plan to leave the country for good, I remember that even though they were young, they may be talking anyhow, but I told them every Saturday. So now I had already brought them out of the boarding house after about a year. I brought them back home to go to day school from my parents' house, which was closer. And I would sit them down on Saturday mornings. I say, hey, this is what I'm planning. This is what we're going to do. Nobody must know about it. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want us to have a place where nobody knows us and we're going to restart our lives. We'll be in charge of ourselves, blah, blah, blah. And it was intentional. At some point, and the little girl again asked me, Mommy, now you have removed Giselle and Jesmel from their boarding house. You're bringing them to this day school. What if Canada doesn't come true? I said, well, you know what? The God that I serve is part of this journey. Canada will come true. Trust me, Canada will come true. While I was doing the Canada, I was also looking for another job because I didn't like my bank job. I was just something lighter for a single parent lifestyle. And everything I was doing, I was carrying them along, telling them that God is in charge. I'm just the custodian of you guys. Mommy is doing this. This is what you're going to do. This is the role you're going to play. So all those things were things that I believe as we grew, my children and I, we understood our new family structure. We understood the journey ahead. And there are going to be times where things are not looking the way they will look, but you trust that mommy knows what she's doing and God is helping us. Yeah. So when it comes to the time of even relocating, we got our visas and everything. I remember when we landed. You know how you take your children for holiday before? You go, you shop, you come back to Nigeria, you walk again, you take them and shop, you come back. This time we were there. So when we got there, we go to Walmart, go to shop, they were like, I said, we're not buying anything, we're just buying groceries, we're going home. So I told them from the beginning, I'm buying a one-way ticket for all of us. We'll carry the money we have in Nigeria and take with us. Mommy is going to be schooling, so she won't have that job that will be breaking her to bringing things home. So, but you guys will be schooling, you'll be okay. We'll go to a smaller apartment, this and that. And they were like, yes. So when we got there, the reality, we got to Canada and we got a 2-bedroom apartment. The boy and the girls were sleeping in one room. I had one room because I was a student. I would have stayed with my girls, but because I was a student, I needed my space to be able to read and understand things. So once in a while, they will have this fight. Oh, he came here. I'm like, this is our new structure of life, and it's just a temporary one. We will go older. We will go better. But right now, I need you guys to... So even when I was in school, there are times, you're in that part of the world, everything was so techy. Well, maybe everything now back home, but then you're using Brightspace, you're doing things online. I'll call my children. There are days I can't even submit my assignment because it's almost 11:59, and I need to submit, and I'm panicking because of the tool. I have to go and download my this and click this. My daughter was, Mommy, wait. They will do it for me. I'll be in the library. They will come. I'll call them, bring food for me. They'll bring food for me. There was one particular thing that happened. It was, I don't know whose birthday it was, or it was the birthday. My daughter wanted to buy something. I'm like, no, we can't buy this. We can't afford it. When you're home that day, she started crying. Mommy, are we broke? Mommy, are you broke? We cannot eat. We cannot do what we want to. We can wait to buy this. We said, no. I said, girl, I'm not broke. I'm just trying to live. I'm paying tuition. So I had to explain things. She was just 11. So I had to tell her, this is this, that is that. Everybody needed to be on one page. So as we grow, when things happen, don't hide, don't shield your children. I'm not saying you tell everything, but don't shield them from important things that will help them understand the situation, the new family structure, that mom is going to be doing this by herself. And even at some point, before we left Nigeria, barely a year, during that first year of widowhood, I don't know, we're talking, or maybe, I don't know where we were. I just told them one day, I said, Mom's going to remarry someday. My son was like, why? Now, Mom, you're already old. Why are you going to remarry? I said, well, when that time comes, you'll know. But I'm just telling you. So one day, if you see Mom with some man and I'm saying I'm getting married, it won't be a shock. That was how much I told my children. So guess what? When we moved from Nigeria to Canada, that was, about some 9 years ago, my son told me we're in an all-white church. And my son told me after church, no, there you will see people in their 90s, in their 80s, coming to church as a couple, bringing their grandchildren along, walking on the street in summer, holding hands. My son told me one day, say, Mommy, you know what? When you meet that man, I would like to meet him. I think you get married too. I support you. Oh, thank you so much. So for me, if tomorrow one man comes and swings me off my feet, I know that my children will not push back. They will be excited for Mom because Mom has walked this journey. So I prepare them for every year. I'm so intentional about talking to them, about letting them know where I'm at, what's happening, if there's a delay, if there's like a setback. Yeah. I tell them everything. It's important because it also makes me have companion with somebody. You can be doing this widowhood journey and you are not widow, you lost a job, you're not telling anybody, your husband doesn't know, you're hiding from him. And sometimes you need to let go. The more you talk to them, talk to people around you, the better you heal, the faster you heal. That's my own take, and I believe it has really helped us. It has helped to bond us as a family. So when one person is going through something, we say, oh, we understand. We are not isolated amongst ourselves. It's important because it's a new lifestyle. A divorce, you're sharing time with your husband to take care of the children. You need to explain things to them. It's a separation. If it's a loss of a job, if it's you lost a huge investment, family investment, lifestyle will change, the spending will change. You're moving house from a big house to a small house, you're changing car, you're going with the boss instead of driving yourself. It's always good to discuss this thing. Even if you don't have a child, have somebody you can talk with. It's important so that you don't suffer unnecessary stress, mental health. So for me, I may not have a best friend that I can share my life with, though I have a best sister, but I have my children too. And right from that age, 8, this girl is 20 now, we still share a lot of things. Mommy, you lost a job. Oh, what happened? Oh, are you doing this? Oh, Mommy, your partner is this. So you give yourself that comfort of, you may not have a husband, but you have children, you have family that you can share with. It's my admonition today, and I believe that it will help us, not just because I was bereaved, but even if you had lost a job, this is a helpline. So I'd like to have people's comments. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what areas that you even want me to talk about, because I've been through a lot. So let me give a hint on this video. I've been through changing my career. Total shift from banking to IT. I've raised 3 young children in the last 12 years. I have a full-grown man and woman. I have a grad as a child. I have raised Christian children. I have change church. I have been able to relocate personally by myself from Nigeria by myself. So I could even give you tips on things you could do for that movie you want to make. So it's a channel that there's going to be a lot coming out. I'll bring people here to help share their experience so that we are not left alone, which the Bible says we should be our brother's keepers. It's a command, and I'm trying to fulfill it. There are lots of people going through a lot, and sometimes just a click of a video, you hear something that will take you to your next level, that will help you get to your next level. So don't relent. Please, if this video when it resonates with you, keep it, like it, share it, send to somebody who it will be beneficial to. And if you have any aspects of what I've mentioned, the aspect that I've talked about that you want to ask questions about, go ahead, send me emails or send comments in the section, and we'll be able to handle. God help us. Thank you so much for staying tuned today, and I wish you a very beautiful life ahead. God bless. Thank you.